New York Comedy Club, please help me welcome Atheer Yacoub.
I'm trying to do some more self-care. I went to the salon today, hadn't been in a while, because the lady there was like, wow, your hair has gotten so long and thick, which was like almost a compliment. She wasn't giving me a Brazilian wax at the time. Swear to God. Has anyone here had any body hair removal before? Yes, you know, it's painful. But I go through this pain for a special person in my life. Maybe some of you do too. And for me, that's my gynecologist. Right, because think about it. She's done more for me down there than any guy ever could. I feel like she's slipping though, because I've had a year-long UTI and she has completely run out of any kind of medical advice, because now she's just telling me things that her other patients have told her that works for them. I'm like, can you just get us all in a group chat, cut the middle person out? Like, this is the latest thing that she told me. She said that after I get out of the shower, I need to blow dry my vagina. Yeah. So now I'm styling my labias every night. I would show you guys, but they're up in curlers right now. So growing up Muslim, I can't even tell my mom that I go to a gynecologist. I have to lie about it. Yeah. Because she thinks that if I get a pap smear, that'll break my hymen and I'm no longer a virgin. I'm like, yeah, it was the Q-tip. Because here's the thing. Muslim parents, they like their daughters like they like their olive oil. Extra virgin. Like, I wasn't even allowed to wear tampons growing up. I guess they thought it would be like a gateway penis or something. But I have friends that are open with their parents about their dating life or their sex life. And, like, is anyone here open with their parents about that kind of thing? Yeah? Really? Where are your parents from? Lebanon, okay. They're like the wild, wild west of the Arabs. Y'all got Mia Khalifa, you're liberated. We get it, okay? We get it. I could never do that. Like, I have a friend, she's really like into some kinky stuff, and she has an open relationship with her mom, and she told me that her mom walked in on her and her boyfriend having sex, and she was just like, oh, sorry, and like closed the door. If my mom walked in on a guy like choking me in bed, she'd be like, if he's not murdering you, I will. That is the only plausible explanation. And I'd just be like, kill us both! My parents are strict about the weirdest things. Like, growing up, you know, I wasn't allowed to watch anything on TV that had like sex or nudity or kissing or hand holding or eye contact. I had to lie to my parents about watching Basic Instinct. I like snuck to watch it. But they let me watch Silence of the Lambs at 6 years old. I guess to them it was okay for me to watch a man eat a woman's face, but not her vagina. I'm trying to enlighten my parents more about certain things. Like, my mom and I, last time I was home, we were watching HGTV, and there was like a gay couple on there looking for a house, and she was like, but they're so attractive, how come they're gay? And I'm like, no, Mom, they're not gay because they can't get women. It's not a lack of options kind of thing. It's not like they're at a restaurant and they're looking at the menu and they're like, oh, you're out of the fish tacos. That's okay, I'll just eat a dick. Anyone else here disappointing their parents with their career choices? Yeah, what do you do for a living?
I do sales.
You do sales? Okay. What kind of sales? Like drug sales?
To pay the rent, yeah.
To pay whatever you gotta do, I guess. Anyone here making their parents proud with their career choices? That's why we're all at a club at 7 o'clock on a Sunday. My parents, being, typical Arab immigrant parents, wanted me to go to school to be a doctor, of course. And I actually went to school to be a nutritionist, but that still wasn't good enough for my mom. So she would always make my job sound way more important than it was. She literally introduced me to her friends as a doctor of food. What is that? I'm like, yeah, I share an office with Dr. Pepper. Now that I'm a comedian, though, she doesn't do that anymore because she stopped introducing me to anybody. Anyone in healthcare? Do we have any first responders in the house? Yeah, first responders? Yeah, what do you do?
I'm a doctor.
You're a doctor, okay. All right, give it up for one person not disappointing their parents. A doctor of food? I'm not a doctor, but I did get my CPR certification during the pandemic. But because we couldn't go in person, I had to do it online. Yeah, it was through a video game simulation. So I can save your life if you're an avatar. Like, they taught us to do chest compressions by clicking on a screen. That doesn't translate, right? No one in an emergency has been like, help, he can't breathe. Who here knows mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? But honestly, this is why we need more immigrants in this country, because immigrant parents, they really try to force their kids to become doctors, lawyers, and engineers, and white people let their kids become DJs. I mean, look at Steve Jobs, like what he contributed. His dad is of Syrian descent, he's a Syrian immigrant. I'm like, yeah, of course he's the son of immigrants. His last name is Jobs. Right there in the name. At this point, though, I think my mom cares less about career and more about me having babies. And I'm in my 30s now, and ever since, for years, I remember there was that show on MTV, you guys remember, 16 and Pregnant. When my mom first saw that, she was like, oh my God, that poor girl, why did she wait so long? It's true. So now I'm thinking about whether or not I want to freeze my eggs, because I feel like if by the time I decide to have kids, it's going to be way too late. Like, I wouldn't even risk making an omelet with an expired egg, And I don't want to tell my kids that they have a birth defect because mommy had commitment issues. So I did look into it, and it's like $10,000 to do this. And there's like a $500 a month storage fee. Yeah, and I realized maybe I'm not fit to be a parent if they're not even born and I already can't afford their rent. Also, it was way cheaper before the white eggs moved in, right? My mom keeps coming up with theories as to why I'm not married to the perfect Arab man. She keeps coming up with a new theory, like she's solving a cold case. She's like dusting off old photos of me and my master's degree, creating one of those like red string diagrams. It's like, where did we lose her? So this is her latest theory as to why I'm not married. She said that I'm still not married because maybe I'm just overqualified. Like, she let me down easy from a job I didn't even apply for. But imagine that happening at an actual job interview where they're like, you know what? You've got all the qualities that we want and more, which is why we can't hire you. We're gonna go with Jim because he can't read. Like, is this what men want? Does anyone here have a mom that used to try to dress like them? Probably ladies. No? Yeah? Someone in the back?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Was she trying to be like a young, hip, cool mom?
Yes.
How did you feel about that?
It was a mess.
It was a mess? Was she like going out in booty shorts or like what?
She is still out with booty shorts.
She's still out with booty shorts. I kind of respect it though. So it used to bother you growing up?
Absolutely. She would try to wear our clothes.
She would try to wear your clothes. Oh. I think the only thing worse than having your mom try to dress like you is having your mom dress you like her. Which is what my mom did to me. Like, she would go to all these mom shops like Chico's and Talbot's and buy me the exact same outfit but in a petite. Like, first day of middle school, everybody thought that I was the teacher. So I was the only 7th grader rocking an Ann Taylor pantsuit. It did make me feel powerful, though. I get why Hillary does it. You know? Is anyone here in therapy? Are we in therapy? Yeah. Okay, good, good. The rest of you are why we are in therapy? Is that it? So my mom, she's a hairstylist and kind of a cliche, stereotypical, people open up to her about their problems and she thinks this qualifies her to be a therapist. So when she found out that I was in therapy, she got really offended. She was like, Atheer, why would you talk to a therapist when you can talk to me for free? I'm like, the same reason you wouldn't go to your drug dealer to get sober? Also, my therapist doesn't make me sweep the hair off the floor afterwards. Yeah, I am trying to take care of myself, trying to get into exercise, supposed to be good for mental health. So I told one of my friends, and she got really into this. She's a big runner, and she's trying to get me into it with her, but she's taken this thing way too far. Because like, during the heat wave, she would run like 10 miles to my apartment wearing a 20-pound weighted vest on top of that. Yeah, she is a white woman. Like, who else would go out of their way to create their own struggle? I'm like, you don't have to do this, Claire. That is her real name. So Claire was trying to convince me to get one. She's like, yeah, it's great for cardio. It's great for building muscle. I'm like, yeah, Claire, I'm an Arab Muslim woman. Let's just throw a vest on it. That'll make it better. No, I do love my white women. Do we have any white women in the crowd that want to admit it? You're one of the good ones. Oh, I love my white women. I take them everywhere I go, especially when I travel abroad, in case we go missing. You always need an anchor white woman. I'm like, somebody will find us because you're here, Ashley. Like, no one's starting a hashtag find Atheer Yacoub, mostly because they can't spell it. Like, they'll be interviewing Ashley's parents on the news, and they'll be like, bring Ashley home! And my parents will be, like, flailing in the background, like, Atheer's there, too! I'm Palestinian. Do we have? Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Do we have any other Palestinians in the crowd? That's the right energy. We're exhausted from protesting. So I'm Palestinian, and I was in Palestine this summer, and a lot of friends were messaging me being like, oh my God, I'm seeing what's going on in the news. Is your family okay? Is your family okay? And I had to explain to them, well, actually, my family lives in Alabama. So no. They are not okay. I also have a Palestinian passport, not to brag. According to the World Passport Index, it's the second worst passport after North Korea. Yeah. So here are the places I found out you can go freely on a Palestinian passport. All right, ready? Bangladesh. Uzbekistan. And any detention center. I think it's the only passport that actually bans you from more countries than it lets you in. Does anyone here speak more than one language? Do we have any okay, right, bilingual people? Trilingual? Yeah. Oh wow, quadrilingual. What's the multilingual? We're just pretentious after that. Is that what it is? No, I speak multiple languages. I speak English, obviously, Arabic, and checkpoint Hebrew. If you guys don't know what that is, it's where you have to learn a language to save your life. Like, I have friends who are like, you know, I couldn't learn a new language if there was a gun to my head. You sure about that? It's actually very motivating. Better than Duolingo. People always want to tell me, though, their opinions on the solution to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict because it's that easy. And here's one thing a woman after a show told me. She's like, you know, I think Palestinians and Israelis just need to, like, have sex, make a lot of babies, and then everybody will just get along. Like, first of all, since when has bringing a baby into any situation made things less tense? And logistically, how would that even happen? There's literally a cement wall separating Israel and Palestine. So unless we start a nonprofit, Glory Holes for Peace, it's not gonna happen. Glory Holes for Peace. You guys are hilarious. I love you. Check out my Kickstarter after the show. As a Palestinian, sometimes I get fetishized a lot by Israeli men. Like, I was at a party and there was an Israeli guy there, and when he found out I was Palestinian, he got like really excited and turned on about it. Yeah, and he was like hitting on me and trying to get into my pants the whole night, but I had to turn him down because I wanted him to know what it feels like to be denied entry. Right? It's okay, the back has a 10-second delay till the joke travels. So in New York, I constantly get mistaken for Jewish, and I always have like old Jewish grandmothers trying to set me up with their grandkids. until I tell them, oh, sorry, I'm not from the Upper West Side, I'm from the Upper West Bank. Oh. But it constantly... This is gonna be the most interesting laugh track. I don't like being upstaged by a laugh, okay? It's my show. Be less supportive. Oh, God. Yes, so I do get mistaken for Jewish a lot, and sometimes it's to my advantage, it's fine. Like, my building manager, he was actually this like really hardcore Israeli guy. He served in the army, the whole thing, and he would call me Miss Yaakov, which is the Hebrew version of my last name, Yacoub. So I'm pretty sure that he thinks that I'm Jewish or Israeli, and it's kind of awkward because I don't want to come out and tell him that I'm actually Palestinian, because like, what if I come home one day and find him living in my apartment? Like, next thing you know, he'll tell me apartment 22 never even existed. I love you guys. I know historically Muslims and Jews haven't always gotten along, but there is one incident where they did. So a few years ago, Germany tried to outlaw circumcisions. They did. And this pissed off the Muslim and Jewish community so much that they actually like band together to fight against this law and won, which is cool, but you think circumcisions are just the tip of their problems? Sorry, that's a dumb pun. I'll cut it out. It's reaching in the back. Okay. I'll tell you guys what, though. It is crazy to fight over religion. I don't get it. All of the major religions pretty much preach the same thing. Like in the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, they all talk about heaven the exact same way. They all refer to it as a paradise land flowing with milk and honey. And that's one small thing we can all agree on, that vegans are going to hell. That's what the good books say. I didn't make it up. Do we have any vegans in the audience that want to admit it? Yeah, someone, raise. Oh, you're like, no, not me. You just want us to know you definitely were not. You're like, I'll eat a steak right now. If you are vegan, I have nothing against you. Some of my best friends are self-righteous. So, my name is Atheer. It's a bit of an unusual Arabic name, and I read the study that says that the name that your parents give you influences your personality and who you grow up to be. Do you guys think that's true? Like, your name has to do with who you grow up? Yeah, some of you are not sure. Yeah. I don't know if that's always true either, because I grew up with a kid named Jihad. And guess what? He's just an accountant now. For ISIS. I guess I'm what they call ethnically ambiguous, because people always try to figure out where I'm from. And when I was in Alabama recently, there was this older white lady just trying to figure it out, but beating around the bush. She was like, you look really international. I'm like, thanks, I was actually conceived at a UN orgy. That's probably what you're picking up on. No one in Alabama knew where Palestine was, so my mom would tell me, just tell them you're from where Jesus is from. And they're like, oh, Texas. There actually is a Palestine, Texas, I found out, which is kind of wild. But anyway, the first thing, did anyone here grow up in the South? Is anyone from the South? Yeah? Whereabouts? Missouri, is that kind of, yeah. The South-ish? They've got the racism of the South, but the weather of the Midwest, I don't know. That's the Missouri state motto. Anyone else from the South? Texas, okay, yeah, the South. That's its own country, the Bible Belt. Well, you must know then, the first thing people ask you in the South, the way they get to know you is they always ask, what church do you go to? It's like the first thing, you know? You're like, I'm just trying to buy pads, you know? So don't wear tampons. Okay. So the first thing people ask you in the South is like, what church do you go to? What church do you go to? And I wouldn't want to get into the whole I grew up Muslim thing, so I would just be like, oh, I'm kind of in between churches right now. Still figuring it out, sleeping on the pews. Or the next question they would ask is, well, have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Which is a very intense question. And as Muslims, like, we do believe in Jesus. He was also the only other Arab in Alabama. So we were... But I'm like, do we have to make it exclusive? Like, can I see other gods? We love Jesus. It was really hard for me, you know, growing up in Alabama, like trying to kind of toggle the line between American and Arab, because my parents, they really wanted to give us like a normal American childhood, but still preserve our Arab culture and roots. So, you know, like at birthday parties, my friends would have a piñata and I would have a lamb that was sacrificed in my honor. Just what every 6-year-old wants. Just sending my little friends home with party favors of organ meats. My dad, he really wanted to fit into the South, so he bought a gun instead of learning English. He's like, this is faster and more effective. It was kind of terrifying, but he never used it except once a year on the 4th of July to celebrate. He would just shoot it up in the air instead of fireworks because those were illegal. And I was like, Dad, you're the only Arab Muslim in an all-white neighborhood. You don't need a gun for protection. You're the reason everyone else has one. But I really had no idea what was going on in high school and my friends' lives because, again, I grew up very sheltered with conservative Muslim parents. So I remember in high school, one of my classmates came up to me and was like, dude, I got really stoned last night. And I was like, what did you do to piss your dad off? Yeah. That joke kills in Saudi Arabia. I think one thing people don't realize, here's the thing. Muslims are actually more progressive when it comes to women's reproductive rights than conservative Christians in the South. Because in Islam, a woman can have an abortion as long as it's medically necessary. Like if she's pregnant with a girl. I'll be honest, my dad really wanted to have a girl. Like, I have 3 brothers, 2 older brothers, and my dad was dying to have a daughter. And I think I know why. It's because he would tell me, he's like, you know, Atheer, raising a good Muslim daughter is my ticket to heaven. I'm like, well, I'm 5. And how is that fair? Like, you're responsible for 18 years of my life, and I'm responsible for your eternal soul? Like, a good Muslim daughter, what does raising a mediocre atheist get you? Sorry, Dad. My older brother, he's married with kids, and My brother is actually a pretty progressive Arab Muslim husband because he cooks, he cleans, he takes care of the kids, he wears the hijab in the family. I really tried to be a good Muslim for the longest time. But here's the thing, in Islam, it's actually kind of complicated because there's like 7 levels of heaven. You know, the more good you do, the higher the level you get into. And I'm not really an overachiever. Like, I wasn't trying to get into AP heaven. Right? Like, I want to have some fun on earth. Like, I'll even do a summer in hell if I have to. I guess now I would describe myself more as spiritual, which is like declaring your major as undecided. Like one thing I started doing during the pandemic is I started going to a Reiki healer. Anyone else here not have health insurance? Like, let's see what the metaphysical world has to offer. If you guys don't know what a Reiki healer is, congratulations, you're doing just fine in your lives, okay? But basically, you're lying down on a massage table and they hover their hands over you to transfer good energy. And that's not even the funny part, okay? So a Reiki healer, yeah, they hover their hands over you to transfer good energy. And honestly, it works for me, but it's like $120 an hour, which is a lot of money to pay someone to not touch you, right? Okay, guys, I became a Reiki healer during the pandemic, all right? I can't afford that either. I did, I realized, yeah, okay. But I used to be a traditional practicing Muslim, used to pray 5 times a day, the whole thing. And then in college, I started drinking for the first time. And I found out in Islam, if you drink alcohol, then God doesn't accept your prayers. So I was like, oh, I guess I gotta stop praying. What other choice did I have? It's the Muslim equivalent of, you can't fire me, I quit. It was really hard when I went back to Alabama and I was quarantining with my parents because nobody drinks. And I'm not even a big drinker, but do you know how hard it is not to drink around the people that make you want to drink the most? We know. Like the closest I got to alcohol is my older brother would bring home a case of Budweiser, but the 0% alcohol kind. Yeah, I didn't know Budweiser could get any worse. But I got desperate, okay? 4 weeks into the lockdown, I'm like, you know what? Let me try it. Maybe there will be some sort of placebo effect. So I'm like 5 cans into this non-alcoholic Budweiser. And let me tell you guys, the only thing worse than getting drunk off Budweiser is staying sober on Budweiser. I don't recommend it. I feel like I'm kind of a hypocrite though because I drink alcohol but I won't eat pork. And I think it's because we grew up in a household that was very halal. Like we weren't even allowed to watch movies with Kevin Bacon. But this happened to me recently. I was at a friend's family barbecue and her dad handed me a hot dog and halfway through eating it, I realized it was pork. And I knew something was kind of off from the beginning because it tasted like something burning in my soul. And I was like, what do I do? Because her dad was watching me and I didn't want to be rude and spit it out, so I just finished it. I know. I feel a little bit guilty, but I guess I'm kind of like in an open relationship with my faith now. Like we spend all the major holidays and weekends together. But once in a while, I'm gonna let a strange sausage slip in. Just keep things spicy. I've been watching a lot of true crime. Anyone else here into true crime? Yeah? It's a sickness. Why are we watching this? I love true crime, and I started watching this one series. It's about female serial killers who are on death row. And I know what you're thinking. Isn't that traditionally a male-dominated field? White men specifically. It is, and I know it's super messed up what these women did to get there, but part of me felt a little bit empowered, okay? Like, you know what, ladies? Good for you for breaking the glass ceiling. And then stabbing your husband with it. I know I'm part of the problem, but we need to stop glorifying mass killers in this country, right? But it only happens when it's white men, because I started watching another series. It's called The Preppy Murderer. And all they kept talking about is how hot he was. The same with any Ted Bundy documentary. It's like, oh, he's so attractive. Like, forget that he killed 51 people. And here's the thing. Again, it's only when it's a white man. And I know this because not once in over 20 years has anyone mentioned Osama bin Laden's strong jawline. Right? Have you seen what's going on beneath that beard? I'm not saying what he did was okay, but I'm just saying he's 6'4", he has green eyes, like, hello, tall, dark, and ransom? I haven't always had the best luck with men, though, and I think it started with my high school boyfriend. I think things just didn't work out between us because I was Palestinian and he was gay. And I missed all of the signs. On our first date, he won tickets to an Enrique Iglesias concert. He got us front row center tickets to an Enrique Iglesias concert, and still I was like, this is normal. The crazier part is how he got the tickets. He won them through a radio contest where he had to act out an orgasm to Enrique. Yeah. And I remember listening to it and being like, what a great actor, you know? He's really committed to the bit. He's really committed. Even later on, when he had to sit me aside and tell me, like, Atheer, I'm sexually attracted to men. And I was like, oh, cool, another thing we have in common. Is anyone here dating? Are we dating? Are we doing the apps? Yes, that's why we're quietly dying in the back. Fair. Yeah. I went on one successful Hinge date. By successful, like I found someone to go out with. So I went out on this one Hinge date a couple of years ago, and I thought it was going really well. We had like a 6-hour intense first date. Like, I'm Palestinian, he was Jewish, we bonded over genocide. It was very romantic. And then I didn't hear from him for an entire month, and then he shows up to a pro-Palestine protest. I'm like, okay, weird place for a second date, but I'll bite. There's other ways to reach me. And we sort of loosely kept texting about hanging out, and I was living in Manhattan and he was in Brooklyn, and I had recently moved to Brooklyn, so I texted him, I'm like, hey, do you still want to hang out? And he hits me back with, yeah, we should totally hang out, neighborino. I got neighborinoed. I don't know if anyone here has gotten friendzoned, but I got school zoned. That is way worse. And then I swear, I wish I was making this up. He ends the next text with, friendo? I know. I'm like, neighborino, friendo. What hurtful version of Spanish are you speaking right now? So now I'm watering his plants when he's out of town. He's in love with me, right? That's the only thing that could mean. Most dating apps are garbage. I blame my friends. They were like, get on Hinge or Bumble. They're cool. I should have gotten on something more specific, like MuslimPeopleMeet.com. Because I think it'd be even cooler to date an FBI agent. I'll tell you number one red flag for a dating app. Never trust a picture of a guy's abs. Never trust it. Because think about it. Who spends 3 hours a day at the gym and gets down to 2% body fat because they have a great personality? Unless you're Jesus, right? He didn't have to go to the gym to do that. He had the abs and the personality. Do you guys think, though, when Jesus was on the cross, he was like, this is gonna make a really great necklace one day? People either really love or really hate that joke. I appreciate you going on that journey with me. But dating in New York, it's really confusing because you'll be seeing someone for 3 to 6 months and they're like, oh, are we dating? It's like, yeah, bitch, you have keys to my apartment. Like, we're either dating or you're breaking and entering. But here's what I decided. I need to screen men better. Like, ladies, we all need to screen men better by asking the right questions. Like, forget their zodiac sign. I don't care if you're a Virgo moon, if you're a Cancer in my life. So we need to start approaching dates the way a customs border agent does. Because a customs border officer knows the right questions to ask. All right? What is the nature of this visit? Let's just establish that right off the bat. Do you have any jewelry or valuables exceeding $10,000? How much baggage are you bringing in? Have you touched any livestock in the last 2 weeks? So why not? I was actually engaged a couple of years ago to a guy who was also Palestinian Muslim like myself. So I thought I finally found the man of my mom's dreams. And we had met at a wedding, which I thought was a sign because my parents also met at a wedding. Yeah, it was their own. I am in a new relationship now, though. Yeah, but it's an interfaith relationship. I'm Muslim, he's vegan. He loved that joke earlier. He would have said something, but he didn't have the energy. So I'm in an interfaith relationship, and relationships are all about compromise. Like, he's learning Arabic, he's trying to cook Arabic food, and recently he told me he'd convert to Islam for me. Yeah, I know, that's huge. So in return, I agreed to try tofu. sacrifice. Have you guys tried Beyond Meat? It's beyond disgusting. He just told me what his biggest fear or phobia in life is. Does anyone here have a phobia or fear they want to share? Snakes? Okay, that's a legitimate fear.
Porta potties.
What?
Porta potties?
Porter potties. I mean, they're gross, but is it like a phobia? Like, do you?
Yes.
Is it? It's a phobia? Have you just been to a lot of music festivals? It's tipped over?
Yeah.
It's actually tipped over on you.
I don't go in porta potties.
Oh my God. Wow. She showered, okay? Wow. But now I'm just interested. I have a few minutes, and we're gonna put the show on pause. How did it tip over?
I was like 3, and then some drunk guys were fighting at some food festival. Yeah.
And a food festival. Oh. If you're ever having a bad day, just think of this woman. Thank you so much. No, thank you for sharing with the class.
That's why I'm in therapy.
Telling you, white women struggle. It's real. It's real. All right. So my boyfriend told me what his biggest fear in life is. His biggest fear of how he might die is he's scared to get assassinated. That's a flex, right? Thank you. That was my reaction. I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't know we were out here assassinating background actors. I'm like, at best, you're collateral damage. Like, the difference between being assassinated and being hit by a stray bullet is at least 100,000 followers. Right? Yeah. Like, you wish you were assassinatable. I'll give you guys a bit of relationship advice that was passed down to me from my parents. So here's the thing. I grew up with love not being like a prerequisite to getting married. And I think there is a little bit of merit to that because love fades, but codependency, that takes years of therapy and money people don't have. Right? They say diamonds are forever, so are unresolved childhood issues, right? You have to find someone that's just broken enough. They will never leave you. So I'm in my 30s. Do we have any ladies single in their 30s and up? Anyone single? Nobody? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So here's the thing. Like, dating in your 30s and over, it's a lot like thrifting. Right. They're nodding, yeah. It's a lot like thrifting, because like I know I'm not gonna find anything new, but maybe I can salvage something someone else threw away. Right? Like one woman's trash is another woman's trauma. You guys have been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much.